Coming up on Mountain News this morning, after President Joe Biden's visit, one Eastern Kentucky community is hopeful as it continues to clean up after historic flooding. And members of a basketball team from a Kentucky university hope to lift up our region with some hard work.
Dedicated to Eastern and Southern Kentucky, this is WYMT Mountain News this morning.
Good morning to you, 6:33. I'm Dakota Makris, and it's Wednesday. I was sitting in the newsroom this morning, and I said to myself, oh, it's just Wednesday. I thought it was much later in the week, and Brandon's over there nodding his head. I told our producer, I said, man, I literally thought it was later in the week, but it's not. So
moving right along, though.
Barely.
Yep,
barely.
Right along. And of course, that front, speaking of barely moving right along, it's barely moving right along to our north and west. Hopefully it won't cause us any issues tonight. We're still keeping an eye on a flood watch, though. It goes to midnight for parts of eastern and southern Kentucky, 2 a.m. for some other areas. Let's take a look at satellite radar this morning. Fairly calm, fairly quiet for now at least. We'll see some rain chances build in as we head toward lunchtime today. They're hitting some drier air this morning. We also have some fog out there. A few clouds at I-75 at Corbin, and they're mentioning there on their sign school days ahead. So some folks are back in school, some folks going back to school today. We'll get our bus stop forecast back out next week. So again, we're going to continue to watch that. But again, a lot of schools push dates back due to flooding, and some schools we don't even know when they're going to start because they've not been able to get in and survey schools just yet. 64 in Clintwood and Wise, 73 Prestonsburg and Wayne. So people bouncing back there a little bit as daylight approaches. We see statewide temperatures there in the 70s pretty much area wide with the exception of the Tri-Cities at 68. And again, we're talking about, I don't know how that got in there, but again, we're talking about some possibilities for some rain chances that will be coming into play later this afternoon and going into the nighttime hours. That flood watch again continues until midnight for parts of the region and 2 a.m. for others. So again, stay alert, stay on guard, and have that WYMT weather app ready in case you get alerts. Dakota?
All right, Brendan, thank you. Well, officials with Kentucky State Police continue to look for two Breathitt County women. Both are unaccounted for following the flooding. This is 60-year-old Vanessa Baker and 29-year-old Nancy Cundiff. Both women are from the Lost Creek community. Family members of Baker say her home was destroyed in the flood. Cundiff's mother, Ruby, was killed in the flooding after their trailer was washed away. The trailer eventually broke apart. Anyone with information should contact KSP Post 13 here in Hazard. Well, people in Breathitt County are continuously working hard through the mud and debris left over by the floods, and they say it's going to be a long time until the work is done. Julia Sandor went to Lost Creek in Breathitt County where people continue to clean up.
The new school year is supposed to start this week, but that's not the case for those at Riverside Christian School.
We are putting a whole lot of hope and prayer and faith that we're going to see workers come in. We're going to see things come in that we've never seen before.
Their Bible teacher, Mac Asher, brought us through the halls.
They got out all of the mud as best possible.
The waters even reached the ceilings in their classrooms.
Some of these fan blades are a little bit older, but as well as they are saturated down with water.
And in their gymnasium, the water was above the basketball hoop.
This was all flood.
But despite the damage, they've already made so much progress.
Not only do we know that the importance of getting out the mud, but we know to make sure that a school happens, there has to be a command central and rooms that are clean, not just free of mud, they have to be clean.
And just across the bridge, another home was almost completely underwater.
To get a good look, Troublesome Creek is just a few yards below me, but the water rose all the way up the hill to that house, going about 16 feet inside.
The house belongs to Johnny Bush Jr.'s sister.
I hope that, FEMA will help everybody out, because all of them needs it. A lot of people don't even have homes to live in. And the ones that does, got a lot of cleaning to do to them.
And he'll continue to clean every day, just like those who are across the creek.
Is it perfect? Not just yet, but as each and every day goes on, we will be able to make sure it gets more and more clean each and every day.
In Breathitt County, in the Lost Creek community, Julia Sandor, WKYT.
Members of the community are hopeful with President Joe Biden's visit Monday. They'll receive the help they need. UPike officials recently announced the UPike Family Flood Support Initiative to help people and areas hit hard by flooding. The university is also allowing students forced from their homes to move in early for the upcoming semester, and shower facilities are available for students in need. Officials also encourage people to donate to UPike Student Emergency Fund, which helps students continue their education after being impacted by emergencies or disasters. You can visit upike.edu/flood relief and click Give Now to donate. Well, if you graduated from Alice Lloyd College and your diploma was damaged or lost in the flooding, you don't need to worry. On Tuesday, officials announced they will be replacing diplomas that were lost. They say the replacement diplomas will be free of charge. To get a replacement, you can call the registrar's office using the number on your screen or email Kayla Thornsberry at alc.edu. Hoping to lift the region they represent on the court, the Eastern Kentucky University men's basketball team stopped by the donation and distribution site at the old J.C. Penney in Hazard yesterday. Players and team staff dropped off donations and even helped to unload and organize the other donations being dropped off. For EKU head coach A.W. Hamilton and the rest of the team representing Eastern Kentucky means more than just wearing EKU across their chests.
Our head manager, Bryce Watts, who's from here, you know, they lost their trailer in the flooding and, you know, while we were in the Bahamas. So that was a very difficult situation for our whole team because how much we love Bryce. So we needed to be here. Our team wanted to be here. We wanted to have an impact and help whenever we possibly could.
Coach Hamilton says he and the rest of the team are proud to represent the region on and off the court and that they hope to continue helping those in need any way they can. Over in Neon in Letcher County, people have come from all the way from the Garden State to help with flood recovery efforts. Zachariah Buck and his father drove down from Wildwood, New Jersey to lend a hand. They spent some time in Jackson and now in Letcher County. After doing search and rescue last week, this week they are delivering supplies.
Helping the people is what makes me keep going. If I had to do this just on my own strength, I couldn't do it. But when I take my side-by-side or take my truck or the excavator or whatever and go clear out a ravine at someone's house, I help them build back, and the look on their face when they say thank you, that's what keeps me going. That's what keeps me going on this stuff.
Zachariah says after they were finished in Jackson, they had no plans, so they just kept on helping. Well, we continue to hear countless stories of people in the community who lost everything during the flood, and while it can be difficult to remain positive after the past 2 weeks, yesterday WYMT's Olivia Calfee spent some time with a little girl who is helping her family and friends keep their heads up.
Jesus loves me, yes I know, for the Bible tells me so.
This is the joy Ada Miller brings.
Ada is so positive, no matter, I mean, look around and how bad it is. She's so positive about everything that we do.
At 4 years old, Ada has been trying to help her parents pick up the pieces.
Sometimes she'll say, I want to go home. But I'm like, baby, our home will be back one day. But she's just positive all the time about it.
And as she was standing on her porch the other day, she realized one thing.
I'm lucky.
All because of a penny she found on the ground.
When I found that penny, I was so lucky and I felt really good.
The lucky penny reminding everyone the faith of a child.
Ada was just playing to herself, and all of a sudden she was like, I'm lucky I found a penny. And then she was like, I don't even have a home, but I'm still lucky.
No matter the disaster or how high the flood,
it's gonna be okay, just find your pennies.
a little positivity is all it takes to flip your outlook. In Letcher County, Olivia Calfee, WYMT Mountain News.
How precious. Well, Ada's mom says having both of her children around helps them stay positive, and she's just thankful they can all be together. Well, we want to remind you that WYMT is partnering with ARH and the Foundation for Appalachian Kentucky to help flood victims. Scanning the QR code on your screen with your phone camera, well, that'll take you to our fundraiser page for both flood relief funds. For those of you who want to write a check, we have two addresses listed up on right now on your screen. The address for ARH Foundation Flood Relief is 2260 Executive Drive Lexington, Kentucky 40505. And for Appalachia Rises, the address is 420 Main Street, Hazard, Kentucky 41701.
Just find your pennies. That's what we're trying to do here. Getting through this next couple of days, we're going to be seeing some fog this morning and then some more rain chances as we head deeper into the day. Hopefully we won't see any more problems. We've had enough of those here recently. So again, just be careful, stay alert, be ready, keep an eye on your creeks and streams, especially in areas that had a lot of flooding back again. And this is actually fog. I thought the camera wasn't working there for a little bit, but see it's glitching toward the bottom, but that's actually fog. So it is zero visibility over at UVA Wise this morning on the high knob camera. And also we can see the description down there and the time. So 64 over at UVA Wise, fogged out over there this morning. 64 in Wise, 64 in Clintwood, 68 Hazard, Manchester, Harlan, Jonesville, Williamsburg, 72 Prestonsburg and Moorhead, 70 Pikeville, 73 in Wayne, West Virginia. Forecast for today up to about 82. Now again, if we see some more sunshine this morning, it's going to be like the last 2 days. 85, 84, 85, maybe even 86. But again, I do think after lunchtime we'll start to see those clouds and those showers increase as we head deeper into the day. Those rain chances will continue tonight. Flood watch for eastern and southern Kentucky until midnight, for parts of West Virginia and Virginia until 2 a.m. Dakota?
All right, Brendan, thank you. It's 6:44. When we come back here on Mountain News this morning, a biotech company enters the third phase of a clinical trial focused on making a vaccine to fight off a disease caused by a blood-sucking pest.